G'day guys, today we're taking a look at a very cool portable pocket Wi-Fi file server from 2017, the Sandisk Connect wireless stick. This was available in 32 gig, 64 gig, and 128 gig, but unfortunately I don't have the 128 gig variant. Taking it out of the packet, we can see it is a little bit taller than a standard AA battery. It is a little bit wider, but it is also a little bit thinner, which is pretty cool. It's very small and lightweight, very portable. Taking a look around the unit, there's very little to see. You've got the single button, which is for powering it on and off, and if you hold it in for 15 seconds, it does factory reset the device. And obviously on the end, you have the USB Type A male connector, which is used for charging, and also if you plug it into a computer, it shows up just as a standard flash drive, which is pretty handy. Powering it on straight out of the box, it does create its own wireless access point, which means that if you do want to access any of the files on it, you will need to disconnect from the normal internet and connect to this wireless access point, which doesn't have internet obviously. And then if you wanted to go back on the internet, you'd have to disconnect from this, go back to your other Wi-Fi. It is a bit cumbersome, but you do have the ability to pair this device to your home internet or another wireless network. So instead of creating its own access point, it'll connect to that instead, which gives you internet access while also being able to access the files on it. Let's take a look at the Sandisk Connect Drive Android app. So getting it working, all you have to do is power on the Sandisk Connect, obviously, connect your phone to the access point it creates, and then opening the app, it'll guide you through it. It'll automatically search for all Sandisk Connects in the area, which is pretty cool. And then you select the one you want, click next, and it's pretty much done. It's a very, very bare bones browser. You can't really do anything you can't do anything else that you can't do in the web interface, basically. So it's not too special, but you do need it to pair to internet connection. So to do this, you'd go next, set up your, enter your Wi-Fi username and password that you want it to connect to, and it would restart and it would connect to it. But you would have to use this app every time, unless you found out its IP address, and then you can go back to the web interface. We won't be doing that today. There's not really a point. I like to use it as a standalone device. If you're camping or you're traveling, you want your files on it. That's its main use case for me. Let's take a look at the web interface instead. So just opening up Chrome, I've just navigated to its IP address, which for me was 172.25.63.1. Punching that into the browser, it automatically came up to this. As you can see, the Sandisk Connect's battery is running low. I will have to charge it soon. But yeah, it's basically very similar to the app you got. So you can upload, download, stream videos, all that kind of stuff. Nothing too special. It is just a basic file server. Clicking on the settings, you can change the SSID, you can add a password, and you can also change the default time it powers off as. So I do like that it has never power off. So if you wanted to leave this plugged into a wall, just a USB charger, 24/7, it will always host files. I do prefer that rather than it turning off after 15, 30 minutes or an hour when there's no use. But yeah, very, very basic. Nothing really to see here. I think we'll try it on Windows. We're on the Windows 10 desktop now, and I have already connected the Wi-Fi to the Sandisk Connect. So I will show you how to find the Sandisk Connect's IP so you can use the web interface. To do that on Windows, you just open up Command Prompt, type in ipconfig, that'll show your IP, and the web interface IP will be the exact same, except at the very end you would put a .1 instead of .whatever it is. So for example, my current IP is 172.25.63.2. The Sandisk Connect's web interface IP would be 172.25.63.1. So if your IP was different, just make sure you change the very last number to a 1, and that should give you access to the web interface of the device. If you're on Android or iOS, I'm not too sure about iOS, but on Android, when you go to the settings, go to Wi-Fi, and you're already connected to the Sandisk Wireless Connect, just hold down on the wireless connection, go to Advanced or Settings or Properties, and it will show you or Details, and it'll show the IP address there, and it's the same thing, just make sure you change the last digit to a 1. So we'll open up Chrome, and I've just typed in the IP. As you can see, you don't need to put the .my-connect, it automatically navigates to that. So you type in 1, and there you go, you got the web interface. I do have the Sandisk Connect off-screen charging, just in a power bank, so that's why it says there. And you've got the settings, same as on Android, nothing too special there. Also, I'll just quickly show you what happens if you plug it into a computer. You can hear it enumerates, loads up straight away. There it is, D drive for me. We will test the download speed, so I'll just drag my test file to the desktop. And yeah, I'm getting about 12 megasecond. Drops down a little bit, but average about 12 megasecond. So it's not too fast. And we'll just try copying a file to it. We'll try Quake. It's probably one of the bigger ROMs I have. A D drive. Yeah, replace it. And about 10 megasecond average, so it's not the fastest in the world. The device does use the WebDAV protocol, not FTP or anything like that. I haven't found anything online that mentions getting SSH access, so it's very limited in what you can do. There's no custom firmwares available as far as I could see, so you are stuck with just basic web front end, no PHP or anything like that. It is just basic file browser. I think we should tear it down and see what's inside. Getting inside this thing is pretty easy. So start by taking the cap off, obviously. And at the very front of the device, there is a little black clip. You can see it. So what I have to do, I just use my fingernail, run it under it, it'll unclip. There we go, there's one clip, the other clip. It comes straight off. And then the next step is just to take the top shiny cover off. So I find starting at the back side of it, on one of the corners, is the way to go. There we go. Again, just get your fingernail under it, like that. And if you do have a little plastic spudger, works really well for this. So just get it in there, run it along the side, and it should unclip. There we go. That unclips nice and easy. There we go. The first time you get in, it's a little bit trickier. It's the same method, there's just a little bit of adhesive stuck on it. So you might need to use a little bit more force, but yeah, very, very simple to get in. And the top comes off. And you're inside. So very gently take it out. On the back of the board is the very large lithium pouch. It says it's 1.4 watt hours. So that's not too bad. 380 milliamp hour. There's not much under the battery. That's just the back of the circuit board, not many components. On the top of it, under the copper tape, if you very gently peel it off, as I'm failing to do here, just try and, there we go. You'll find a micro SD card inside. So to take the micro SD card out, have the USB port facing you, and simply push down the SD card and pull it towards you, and it'll spring up. So you can see it sort of sticking out, and it just comes out. This is a standard SanDisk Ultra 64 gig micro SD, so nothing too fancy. It does have the boot file on here, so if you swap it out with a blank SD card or a different SD card, the Sandisk Connect will no longer work. So you can harvest it, but it's a destructive process. I have tried cloning it to a different SD card with no luck. It clones correctly, and it checks some matches, but it just would not boot. So I'm wondering if it uses the unique ID of the SD card to pair with it for some reason to stop you doing this. Maybe back in the day people were buying them, opening them, stealing the SD card and returning them. I'm not too sure. But if you do need a 64 gig micro SD in a pinch, that's an option, but as I said, it is destructive. I won't take the shielding off here, it is soldered down, but that is the SoC. And that's pretty much all there is to see inside. Just that. Putting it back together is much the same. Let's make sure the copper tape is nice and flush, like that. And simply place the back, this side, in first. Gently push it down. There we go, it locks in, like that. And then next, the top. Again, start with the back, because it is easy to clip it in unaligned. So make sure the back's flush, just press it down, and press it down. It does take a little bit of force to close it. Those clips are quite aggressive. And finally, we want to put the top clip back on. So again, there are 2 holes. Just line up those 2 pins, slide it over, click it in. And that is back together, nice and easy. I think that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching.